Hi guys, we'll get started with Joe. Same deal as last night. If you can just jump in the chat section and let me know if you've got a question, and we'll scroll through one by one. So whoever wants to kick us off, let me know. Any takers, guys? Chris, over to you.
Hey Joe, thanks for your time, mate. Can you just give us your reflections on that final day and where this leaves England heading to Melbourne and Boxing Day?
Yeah, I'm actually very proud of the way that the guys fought today, the attitude, the desire. That's how we need to go about a whole test match. You know, you can't just leave it to the last day and expect to pull off an enormous feat, which is what it would have been today. I thought Joss's innings was outstanding, ably supported by others, you know, Wokesy in particular. But ultimately, that is the attitude. And as I say, the mentality that we have to harness for 5 days if we're going to win here. The disappointing thing about this week, I think, is that we made the same mistakes as last week. And we just can't afford to do that. And that's going to be the most frustrating thing about this game, looking back.
Do you feel like you maybe picked the wrong team for this test?
Easy to say that sat here now. I think if you look at the first innings in particular, I thought we were just a little bit short with the ball. We didn't challenge them enough. We allowed them to leave, and they left very well again. Something that we knew they were gonna look to do, as they did in Brisbane very well. We need to be braver. We need to get the ball up there. And as soon as we did that in the second innings, that first hour, the amount of chances we created and how dangerous we looked, that's almost a benchmark for us moving forward. We need to look at those, I suppose, those passages of play and do them for longer, exploit the conditions as well as we did in that period of the game.
Thanks, Chris. We'll go to Rory.
Thanks, Joe. Obviously, you've made some assessments there about what you need to do better. At 2-0 down with 3 games that are going to come in real quick succession, is it too late for this series to put that right now?
No, we have to believe. We have to keep looking to. Well, first of all, we need to learn, and we need to learn fast. We can't make the same mistakes that we have done so far. But we have to absolutely believe and have that same attitude, as I mentioned, that we went about today with. Because if we do that, I'm convinced that we've got what we need to win test matches over here. But we're not going to if we keep missing chances. And you know, we don't give ourselves an opportunity to get into the test match with the bat. We've got to find ways of building those partnerships, getting in, making big contributions. And you know, that's something that we will have to do very well at Melbourne. But as I say, a lot of today has given me confidence going forward.
And obviously the pitch didn't ultimately sort of go to hell today, really. Do you now look back and think if you'd have managed to just get through last night with that extra wicket, and obviously with it being yourself, that might have been the difference?
It could have been. It could have well been, but it's, again, you just don't know, do you? It was really I was absolutely gutted last night. For a number of reasons, it was a tough day yesterday. Yeah, I was very cross with myself. I should have been able to turn up today, put the pads on, and lead by example. So yeah, bitterly disappointed in myself there.
Thanks, Joe.
We'll go to Dean and then Stefan after that.
Yeah, hi Joe. From what you've already said, it strikes me there are sort of two kind of glaring things, two glaring issues. One, the batting and not being able to score those runs, which fundamentally might be down to ability. The other being the bowling, where you are repeatedly asking for guys to pitch it up, but they're not doing it, which suggests it's more of a decision on their part. Does that make you more angry than the other?
No, I don't think it's all as simple as that. You're looking at half a metre at times, and one thing you look at when you're in the moment of things and the amount of times that they did play and miss and we beat the bat again, it can be frustrating and you feel like you're doing the right thing. I think we just have to be that little bit braver, get the ball up there, and accept that every now and again we're going to get driven, but the skill and the ability you have, we're going to create chances. The most disappointing thing for me is the amount of no balls that we keep bowling and the amount of chances that we've missed again off the back of last week. As you mentioned with the bat, we have got the ability. I don't think that Australia are that much better than us in these conditions. Like the score lines might have suggested in these two games, we are better than how we've played, and we need to front up at Melbourne and put in that performance, which is a better reflection of the ability in that dressing room.
I've got to be honest with you, Joe. These are things that I'm hearing from you, not for the first time. You've talked about this, many times before, and you sort of have taken a step forward and now appear to have taken steps backwards. I mean, are you worried that the players are not able to respond to what you're asking of them?
No, I expect them to. You've got 3 games here, 3 massive games with the Ashes on the line now, and if that's not motivation enough to to go out there and put performances in, then I don't know what is.
Okay.
Stefan, over to you.
Hi, Joe. You said that you were gutted last night and it was a tough day for a number of reasons. Can you just talk us through your day yesterday and just how tough that was?
How much detail do you want me to go into? I turned up to practice or to hit some balls in the morning, have some gentle throwdowns. One that's a little bit more than I expected to and hit me in an unpleasant area. I ended up having to go for a quick scan. Everything thankfully was okay. Managed to get back on the field. And then, you saw the rest. Was in quite a lot of discomfort throughout the day. And bitterly disappointed that couldn't see out that last over, because it could have had a very different look to the end of this game.
You know that there'll be some scrutiny over the teams that have been picked during the first 2 test matches, but is it also true to say that it doesn't matter what team you pick if you don't bowl the right length, don't get enough runs, and don't take your chances when they come?
That's the game. You have to be able to put the ball in the right areas for long enough. You have to be able to go and score big runs, and when you create those chances, you have to take them. And I think the frustration within our dressing room is that we've missed out on, or we've not quite executed some very basic things well enough for the second game in a row now, and we need to respond very quickly in the next one.
Thank you.
Will, we'll go to you.
Hi, Joe. I just wondered if you could talk a little bit more about Joss's innings. Did you know he had that kind of restraint in him to face more than 200 balls for 20 odd runs? It's not something he's done before. And then also the nature of dismissal, how is he after that?
Yeah, everyone was absolutely devastated for him to play as well as that, to have that mindset and that strength of character of what's probably been quite a difficult week for him in patches, a different week for him. So everyone was gutted because he played extremely well. But one thing about Joss is anyone that can handle a World Cup final and read a situation and read the game and be as composed as he was throughout that, can manage situations like that, like this one within a test match. And I think he should gain a huge amount of confidence from the way he played today and the way that he approached that innings, and the ability not just in performing out here in these conditions, but in his defence and another side of his game, which now can hopefully he can take a lot from into the rest of this series and the next 3 games.
And can I just ask about the batting more generally? You kept patience with the batters after a poor performance in Brisbane generally, and for bowlers that change. Are the batters in the gun now?
Selection we'll think about the next couple of days. As always, it's it's probably not the right time to go into that and to make emotional decisions.
And last one, Dan Bredig.
G'day, Joe. Just a question about the way that the Australian bowlers have bowled to you in these first couple of tests. They've really sort of hammered away at that off stump and just outside, sort of where you're expecting test cricket. One of the strengths in your game is that you like to get the bat on the ball, you like to get the scoreboard moving and moving around. How do you balance that with, I suppose, the whole leaving the ball well thing that, say, Marnus Labuschagne does in Australian conditions? I think he's never left more balls than he did in this test match, for instance.
It's something that it comes down to good decision making under pressure for long periods of time. From my point of view, it's a big scoring area for me. It's that sort of channel is I can profit quite a lot from. In different conditions around the world, I think it's managing what's right in front of you. You know, the last couple of games has been Brisbane in particular, that extra bit of bounce, and there's probably a little bit more danger there. You know, and I was really annoyed at myself in the first innings because I made a very similar mistake to what I did at Brisbane. I thought I rectified it better in the second innings, but you know, they're the sort of things that you have to be sharp at applying into your practice, and eradicating from your game, and making sure that you know, you feel like you've got a way of, if there are certain strategies that they're going to throw at you, you can manage them well throughout the game. So yeah, that's how I'll approach things moving forward, and how I've looked to do it throughout this game.
Thank you.